Hi. So today we're going to be talking about evaluating algebraic expressions and formula. How do you evaluate an algebraic expression or a formula? To evaluate an algebraic expression, substitute numbers for the variables and then follow the order of operations. So they're telling us unlock the problem. Mitchell is saving money to buy an MP3 player that costs $120. He starts with $25 and each week he saves $9. The expression 25 plus 9W gives the amount in dollars that Mitchell will have saved after W weeks. They want to know, how much will Mitchell have saved after 8 weeks? So they're telling you to evaluate the expression for W is equal to 8. Write the expression. They gave us the expression in the problem, 25 plus 9W. So we're writing 25 plus 9W. Then we have to substitute 8 for W. So we're going to have our formula was 25 plus 9W. They're telling us that W is equal to 8 because they want to know how much we've saved after 8 weeks. So when we plug it in, we're going to get 25 plus 9 times 8. So then we have to multiply. 9 times 8 is going to end up giving us 72. So this is going to end up being 25 plus 72. Now we have to add. So we're going to add our 25 and 72 together. And we're going to see that 25 plus 72 will give us 97. So that means after 8 weeks, Mitchell will have saved $97. The MP3 player costs $120. So that means he doesn't have enough. So what they're asking is, after how many weeks will Mitchell have saved enough money to buy the MP3 player? So there's a few different ways that we can do this. We can either make a chart if we want, weeks and money. We know that's going to take longer than 8 weeks. We can start off our baseline. 0 weeks, we have $25. And then we're adding $9 every week. 25 plus 9 is going to give us 34. I'm going to skip some weeks because we know now after 8 weeks we have $97. After 9 weeks, we can just do what we did in the beginning and add 9. So if we add 9, that means we're going to have $106 after 9 weeks. After 10 weeks, we're going to add 9 again. That's going to be 115. So we see that still after 10 weeks, we won't have enough money. With 11, that will give us $124. So after 11 weeks, we'll have enough money to buy that $120 MP3 player with $4 left over. That's what they're telling us to do here to make a table. We have our value of 25 plus 9W. That's essentially what they were plugging in here. 25 plus 9W. And when we plug in our weeks, 0, 9 times 0 is 0. 25 plus 0 is 25. 9 times 1 is 9. 25 plus 9 is going to give us 34. And that's what we were doing over here. Notice we were just taking what preceded it and adding 9. That's the same thing as adding another multiple of 9. So this is the same thing as if we plugged in 8 for a W. This is the same thing as if we plugged in 9 for a W. This is the same thing as if we plugged in 10 for a W. And this is the same thing as if we plugged in 11 for a W. So that's what they're saying here. That's definitely one way that we can do it. There is another way we can do it without making the chart, but we have to get into algebra more to talk about that. So for right now, we're going to do it the chart method. So we'll have saved enough money for the MP3 player after 11 weeks. Here, they're asking us to evaluate the expression for the given value of the variable. So again, they're giving us an expression and just asking us to plug in a given number for the variable. So they're giving us 4m, 4 times m minus 8 divided by 3. And they want our m to be equal to 14. So with this, we have to take that 14 and plug it in for our m. So we have our 4 times, parentheses, 14 minus 8 divided by 3. Notice that's the only thing that's changing. So now we have to follow PEMDAS. We have parentheses. So we have to evaluate our parentheses first. 14 minus 8 is going to leave us with 6. So this is going to be 4 times 6 divided by 3. Nothing's changing over here. 6 is just going to be 6. So we can take it out of parentheses. Now we no longer have parentheses. We don't have any exponents. So now we're going to look at multiplication, division, left to right. So going left to right, we see multiplication first, so we do that first. If it was reversed and going left to right, we saw division first, we do that first. So here we have to multiply 4 times 6. Our 4 times 6 is 24. Bring down our divided by 3. We have one step left. Now we're going to have to divide. 24 divided by 3 is going to end up with 8. So that means when we evaluate this expression for m equals 14, we get 8. The next question that they have is 3 times, this was A, this is B. So we have 3 times y squared plus 2 and parentheses, and they want our y to be equal to 4. So here we're going to have to substitute in 4 anywhere we see y. This is going to be 3 times parentheses. I'm going to put it in parentheses just to make sure, because if this was a negative 4, we'd have a negative times a negative, which would be a positive. If we put it in without putting in parentheses, it would be telling us to square the number and then apply the negative. Squared plus 2. So now that we have this, we have to evaluate, starting with our PEMDAS, parentheses. We have parentheses here. 4 doesn't do anything. So then we have our parentheses here. We have to make sure we do what's in here. So we're doing what's in here first in our order of PEMDAS. We have our exponent and we have addition. As we can see in PEMDAS, the exponent comes before addition. So we're going to do our exponent. That's going to give us 3 times 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is going to give us 16 plus 2. Now we're going to do our addition. That's going to end up being 3 times 16 plus 2 is 18. That parentheses isn't going to be doing anything, so we just have our 3 times 18. And now we just have to multiply. So when we do that, we have our 18 times 3. 8 times 3 is going to be 24. Bring up our 2. 1 times 3 is going to be 3, plus 2 is 5. So that's going to give us 54. So that's going to be what we get when we evaluate our expression for y is equal to 4. Recall that a formula is a set of symbols that expresses a mathematical rule. We've worked with some formulas before. Our distance formula, distance is equal to rate times time. Our rate is equal to distance divided by time. And time is equal to distance divided by rate. Those are all formulas. The formula P is equal to 2L plus 2W gives the perimeter P of a rectangle with length L and width W. They want to know what is the perimeter of a rectangular vegetable garden with a length of 2.4 meters and a width of 1.2 meters. So we have our formula. P is equal to 2L plus 2W, where they're telling us our length is 2.4 meters. And they're also telling us that our width is equal to 1.2 meters. So now, just like we did before, for each of our variables, we have to plug in what they're telling us that's equal to. So we have our perimeter is equal to 2 times our length, which is 2.4 meters. Plus 2 times our width, which is 1.2 meters. So if we're following our PEMDAS, there's nothing that's going to happen in this parentheses, nothing that's happening in this parentheses. We don't have any exponents. We just have multiplication over here and multiplication over here. So we just multiply from left to right. So we have our perimeter is equal to 2 times 2.4, which is going to be 4.8 meters. Bring down our addition sign, and we have to multiply over here. 2 times 1.2 is going to give us 2.4 meters. So all that's left here for us to finish up evaluating for our formula with our length of 2.4 meters and our width of 1.2 meters is to add together. So we have to add our 4.8 plus 2.4. Eight plus 4 is going to give us 12. Carry the 1. Bring down our decimal point. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 2 is going to give us 7. So we're going to end up getting 7.2, meaning that our perimeter of that rectangular vegetable garden is 7.2 meters. So that's a little bit with our formulas and with evaluating expressions. So the work that I want you to do are the questions on our page 267. They're asking you to evaluate for the given variable, exactly what we were just doing before. All of this is just plugging in the number they tell us for the given variable. So here, they give us 5k plus 6, and they want us to plug in k is equal to 4 in for k. Here they're telling us m is minus 9, and they want us to plug in 13 for m. Here they're telling us 16 minus 3b, and they're telling us b is equal to 4. Here, they're giving us p squared plus 4, and telling us p is equal to 6. Here they're telling us the area of a rectangle is length times width. They want to know what is the area in square feet of a United States flag with a length of 12 and a width of 8. That is very similar to what we did here. The only difference is you're multiplying, so make sure you're multiplying your 12 times 8, and then your units is going to be feet times feet, so you can get square feet. So for that one, make sure when you multiply your 12 times 8, you're going to put your units as square feet. Here, they want you to evaluate the expression for the given value of the variable as well. So this is just like up here. They're giving you expressions and telling you what to plug in for the variable. And here they're telling you the perimeter formula for S gives a perimeter P of a square with side length S. What is the perimeter of a square photograph with the side length of 5.5 inches? So all you're doing is for S, plugging in your 5.5, and you're just doing 4 times 5.5, or 4 times 5.5. So that's what we're doing here. If you have any questions, please let me know. I want you guys to work on these 12 questions on page 267. Thank you.